GardenTags is the result of a challenge that myself and my business partner Daniel Richards set ourselves, which was to make gardening and plants accessible and fun and engaging for everybody. Everything is shared via social networks. It's this challenging environment in which we have to engage people.
There's already been heated debate amongst our panellists about the topics we're going to be discussing.
Generation are they're so like cotton-wooled and sort of cocooned.
I have a son who's 5 and it's absolutely his favourite thing to do because it makes him feel powerful, he's got agency, he's acting, he's actually doing something.
Young people seem to be, you guys are all hooked, you know, you've got the gardening bug, and I think a lot of old people who've had a chance to and opportunities afforded them in life have a relationship to the natural world. But a lot of times, particularly in cities, they have a difficulty becoming attuned to that. I mean, a lot of kids don't even know where their milk comes from.
If you give them like a real juicy problem to solve and show them that you could solve that through gardening, that's really motivating for them.
It's just anything that gives them that freedom and then connects them with the real world. We're looked upon across the world as a nation of gardeners, and it's even mad that we're having this conversation, that we haven't just got young people leaving schools and want to become horticulturalists.
Me and Dale only got into gardening like three years ago, and when we were at school, it was never mentioned. No one ever talked about gardening. It was never brought up in conversation, and it wasn't until we left school that we started getting into it. So.
That is what strikes me, is that there is a lack of anybody who would appeal to the YouTube generation, apart from you guys, in the way of, in the same way that, you know, somebody who's doing makeup tutorials. Why isn't there somebody out there talking about carnivorous plants, doing a really cool tropical plants YouTube channel?
Get Taylor Swift into gardening.
Actually, it's not just about growing plants and understanding our environment and all those wonderful things that should be, but it's about retail, you know, it's about landscape, it's about design.
The way we've got 20-year-olds men involved is by saying we'll grow hops, we'll grow our own beer, we'll work on the design of that, we'll make those things happen.
I love Latin names, I love all the knowledge. So I kind of find I find that quite disturbing, you saying, throw aside the knowledge and make it fun, because I kind of want to impart the knowledge, so I'm constantly like in a narrative with my children going, yes, that's a monkey puzzle tree.
Professionals built the Titanic, amateurs built the Ark, and the Ark stayed afloat.
Don't put them off with the fear of knowledge. There's a fear factor to gardening that builds a divider.
What is the media's role in this? You know, are the media reflecting, at the moment, the diversity that there is in the world of gardening, or is it still a very middle-class, white kind of environment?
And I think that's what's missing in the television programs. It's that there's no collaborative process going on with someone who's hip and cool and who's ethnic and who's a woman.
The messages that are still coming across about gardening are traditional ones and ones that aren't necessarily relevant. What's actually going to get them in and hook them in and get them more interesting are things like creativity, design, those sorts of subjects, and you just don't hear about them.
There's so many walks of life that garden, and probably at the moment media offers, you know, very quite sort of tight narrative.
Let's not be driven by money, let's be driven by change.
We need stuff that's going on in urban places, we need stuff going on for young people, we need variety, we need a load more of it, and we need television and media to decide that gardening's cool.
I think it's good to see that everyone was so passionate about it, and I think everyone's on the same wavelength with how they want things to go forward, which is really good.
I thought it was amazing to see how many people in the audience were keen to hear how we could restructure the gardening community. Yeah. You know, from industry to the communicators on like television to, you know, you had the Telegraph there, looking at how we could rethink it. So they were open and receptive to it. And as opposed to that moment where it was like, yes, we need more community, yes, we need more kids going, the call came back from the audience saying, how do we tap into the skills of the older generations and pass it on? And I think that was a beautiful moment.
Yeah.